And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Sparta Township High School, for tonight's girls basketball game of the week here on BT Broadcasting. I'm Jordan Catelli with my color commentator partner tonight, Brian Thomas. We have the Sparta Spartans. The Sparta Spartans coming in with a record of 7-12 overall in the season, 1-8 in the NJAC American. They're hosting the Jefferson Falcons, coming in with a overall record of 16-3 on the season, 9-0 in the NJAC Freedom Division, led by head coach James McDermott. Christina Danella, the head coach of the Sparta Spartans. But Brian, both teams tonight coming in on good form. Jefferson coming in on a 5-game winning streak, Sparta coming in on a 4-game winning streak. What do you expect tonight from both teams?
I think it's going to be a great game. But like you said, both teams are coming off a really excellent county tournament win, so I'm looking forward to a competitive game tonight. It's always fun when you get towns that are right next to each other. And we're very excited as today's game is sponsored by the Lake House Cafe. They have two locations. One is in Andover Borough, and one is right in the plaza, right in downtown Sparta. You can come in for breakfast and lunch. And for delivery, you can order from lh.cafe. And if you use the code BB02, you can receive 10% off your order. It's an excellent spot to go get some breakfast, to go get some lunch, so go check them out. The Lake House Cafe in both Andover and Sparta. So, Jordan, I'm very excited for this game tonight. You talk about, it's not necessarily a crosstown rival because the towns are next to each other, but this is always a fun one when these teams get together they're not in the same division anymore. But again, both teams have a lot of momentum coming into this game, and I think this is going to be an excellent one here this evening.
We'll give you the starters for the Sparta Spartans. Number 11, Mayla Dobbs. Number 15, Kaylee O'Brien. Number 23, Mariah Sweeney. Number 24, Katie Sutton. And number 34, the junior, Molly Chapman. And for the Jefferson Falcons, number 1, senior Cassidy Ball. Number 15, Kylie Schatzel, the junior. Senior number 23, Grace Wilmeyer. Number 24, Madison Monaco. And number 33, Emily Paulus, as we'll step aside here for the national anthem.
All right, and we are back here at Sparta High School, looking forward to an excellent game here tonight. Jefferson just coming off of a huge Morris County tournament quarterfinal win against Madison, and Madison is an excellent team, but what made that win even bigger for the Jefferson Falcons is the fact that just a few weeks ago they lost that game to Madison by 30 points. Then they come back and have an incredibly exciting overtime win, so they can now advance to the semifinals against Chatham, which is a top 15 ranked team really in the state right now. And then Sparta's coming off a huge win of their own in the HWS quarterfinals, and now they're going to be on Saturday up at Walk Hill Valley High School. They're going to be now in the HWS semis. So after a bit of a choppy start for the Sparta Spartans, they have really righted the ship. They've won 4 in a row at this point. And again, this is going to be a great test for both teams, and each team is looking to build on the momentum that they have from winning that quarterfinal county tournament game.
So we'll get ready, both teams to get ready to do the opening tap. Sparta in the blue, Jefferson in the white. Here in Jefferson Township High School. or at Sparta Township High School. I'm sorry.
One thing we'll have to note right away, Jordan, is that Abby Connors is sick tonight, so she will not be playing, which is a big loss for the Spartans. She is such a spark plug and really just an incredible disruptor on defense for the Sparta girls. So the bench players are really going to have to step up for the Spartans.
So Jefferson wins the opening tap here. They work it around the perimeter. This is Wellmeyer.
Sparta, as usual, coming out in that it's a bit of a 3-2 that goes into a 2-3 zone. And you can see that they are extremely active in that.
Jefferson just working around the perimeter looking. They feed it down inside to Cassidy Ball. Ball with it on the low block. Finds Manco. Her shot can't get it to go. Rebounded by Schatzel. And she'll bring it out up top, and the Falcons will regroup.
It's going to be one of the keys for Sparta tonight is making sure they get a body on Schatzel. With her size, she can easily get double-digit rebounds, and certainly Sparta is not a tall team this year, so they got to find bodies first.
This is Grace Wellmeyer. The ball, good ball movement here by the Falcons. Still their opening possession off the opening tap. Long shot by Poulis, no good. Rebounded by the Spartans.
Jefferson will take that from the school record holder in three-pointers, Emily Poulis. They will take that shot every possession. Not often you see a first possession almost 90 seconds, Jordan.
Absolutely, no shot clock either. Yeah.
That's right.
So this is Dobbs being guarded closely by Monco.
Jefferson also starts in their 2-3, which is what they play pretty much every game as well. And you can see they're very active coming all the way out to that volleyball line.
And they force the turnover, and the Falcons will get it back. Still no score here.
Cassidy Ball bringing the ball up is incredibly versatile. They can play her down low. They can play her on the high post, or as you just saw, they can have her playing point guard, bringing the ball up the floor.
Jefferson continues to work it around. The corner three put up there by Monco, no good. Last touch off Sparta, and it'll stay here with the Falcons. 5:57 remaining. This is Ball. Ball gives it up. Long three by Wellmeyer, off the mark. Rebounded by the Falcons. It's Cassidy Ball. And the foul is going to be called prior to the basket, so we'll have a Jefferson Ball to inbound underneath.
Second offensive rebound already for the Jefferson Falcons. As we just mentioned, Sparta's going to have to find bodies specifically on Schatzel and Ball because they do a lot of the rebounding for this Jefferson team.
Ball looking for somewhere to go with it. She finds Schatzel. Back to Ball. Ball too strong on the shot. Rebounded by Sweeney. This is Chapman driving baseline. Can't get it to go with the right. Rebounded by Cassidy Ball, and she's going to look to push. Ball gives it up to Monco. She'll bring it back out. Poulis gives it over to Monco.
Sparta does a really nice job, Jordan, of communicating on defense.
Nice try to find. Schatzel found Ball into the baseline. Ball can't get it to go with the reverse attempt. And Sparta with the rebound. This is Molly Chapman.
An excellent job limiting them to one shot on that particular possession.
And they're saying it's a long two. Count it for Sparta.
And Kaylee O'Brien can hit that. You can't leave her open anywhere on the perimeter. She can let it fly.
So the game's first two belongs to Sparta with 4:40 remaining in this opening period.
Which is interesting because Jefferson's winning in shots about 7-2 so far, and certainly time of possession,
Absolutely.
Which is a football stat, but I mean, it applies here too.
Put the ball in the old freezer, as they like to say.
That's right.
Wing three put up there by the Spartans. That's Monco, or no, that's Wellmeyer, pardon me. Rebounded by the Spartans. Sutton works it around. Tries to feed it down inside. Can't get it to go. Trying to find O'Brien. And it's the Jefferson Falcons with the interception, and they're trying to look for some transition points, which haven't been easy to come by.
And nice job by Schatzel on that last possession of weak side help. Even when you're in a zone, you could be a weak side helper, and she did a great job right there.
2-0 Sparta leads. Halfway gone here in this first period.
And as you can see, both teams don't just sit back in that zone. They bring one girl out to attack the ball first, and then they go from there. It's not a passive 2-3 zone by any stretch.
This is Sutton to Dobbs. Dobbs quickly draws the double. Good defense here by the Falcons. Another turnover created, and losing it in transition is Monco, quickly picked up by Sparta. Dobbs double down in the corner, looking for help, somewhere to go with it, and whistles. And what do we have here?
Looks like they got a foul, yeah.
Yeah.
Sparta got bailed out on that possession because they were dead to rights in that corner. And it looks like one of the Jefferson girls just snuck those hands in there.
So the first team foul of the contest against the Spartans, or against the Falcons. Both teams were just one team foul in the opening period.
Emma Barone checking into the game. She could hurt you on both sides of the floor. Athletic young guard.
Long three by Sparta, no good. Here comes Jefferson looking to push. Three put up there by Poulos, got it.
That's what they like to do. When they get out in transition, they're certainly, of course, looking to take the layup and attack the basket. But if they can find Emily Poulos on the wing, they will certainly do that as well.
So 3-2, Jefferson leads. 2:45 remaining here in the opening quarter. Dobbs gives it up to Chapman. Chapman fed it down to Sutton, who was working down trying to work the low block, and a whistle and a turnover back to Jefferson. The senior point guard Cassidy Ball brings it up here for Jefferson. Low scoring first period here, 3-2 our score. Both teams coming in averaging better than 40 points per contest during their win streaks.
Yeah, Sparta especially, they really struggled to score early in the season, having some games in the 20s and low 30s. But as you mentioned, those last four, they've really found something that works for them. And getting up into those 40s is a big deal for them. And that's really their recipe to be able to win some games.
They feed it over to Poulos. Poulos drives baseline, off the window and in. Her first two of the game.
And that's when she's at her best. We just saw her hit a three the possession before, but when she is then using a shot fake or a rip through to attack the basket and get all the way to the rim, she's a real tough cover.
And we're gonna have a turnover going back to Jefferson. (5-2) Jefferson leads.
Jefferson doing a nice job of moving the basketball against the zone and being patient. I don't think they've really taken a bad shot so far. Coach McDermott certainly preaches, hey, let's get a great shot, be patient and do what we have to. We're in no rush, like you said. There's no shot clock at the high school level.
Good ball moving here by the Falcons. Work it over to Poulos in the corner. She drives baseline again, denied on the way up. Jefferson gets it back, and Cassidy Ball able to finish and get the putback to go off the glass.
Great job defensively by Molly Chapman coming over and helping out, but once again, Cassidy Ball sneaks in there for an offensive rebound and a deuce.
7-2, Jefferson leads. Final minute play here in this first quarter. Out of bounds, and will stay with the Spartans. Dobbs gives it to Chapman. Chapman drives, extended the forearm, and they call the offensive foul. So Jefferson potentially with the opportunity to take the last shot of the first quarter.
Which my guess is at this point they won't do on purpose, but with the length of their possession so far, it certainly may turn out to be that way.
Under 30 to play. Long three from the corner, got it. It's Poulos.
Poulos feeling good so far. 8 quick first quarter points. 2 threes already, adding to her career total.
So it's 10-2 now, Jefferson leads. Final 7 seconds. Good defense here by Jefferson. Good closeout defense at the top. Pull up pop off the back iron, no good. That was Katie Sutton. She's unable to get it to go. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, Jefferson leading 10-2. We'll step aside, come back. Second quarter action coming up next here from Sparta High School. And we're back here at Sparta Township High School, start of the second quarter. 10-2 Jefferson leads, and Brian, we have some sponsors to thank.
Yeah, big shout out and thank you to Lake House Cafe. They've got 2 spots. One is in Sparta, right down in the plaza. Another one is over in Andover Borough. And they serve both breakfast and lunch, and they are also open for delivery. And if you order from lh.cafe, you'll receive a 10% discount with the code BB02. So check it out. I actually go there weekly for breakfast. It's an excellent spot, great ambiance, great service, and great food. So check out the Lake House Cafe.
Wing 3 here put up by Dobbs. No good. Rebound by Jefferson. And Brian, I'm sure it's a fantastic spot if you go there for breakfast. Man doesn't look like he misses a good meal. And Cassidy Ball goes uncontested for the easy deuce. And a quick timeout called by Christina Danella of Sparta.
Jordan, I'm sure at the end of the quarter, Coach Danella was talking about, okay, these are the things we got to do. We got to keep them out of paint. We got to make sure that we get all the way out to Poulos as a shooter. We got to make sure we're boxing out. And then the first possession of the game, you know, the Red Sea kind of parts and they go right in for a layup, which is the reason for the quick timeout. Like, hey, we're already down 10-2, so we got to make sure that we get off to a great start here in the second quarter, and allowing that type of play is not going to work. So good call by Coach Danella.
So Sparta will inbound underneath.
And Sparta's going to have to figure out this 2-3 zone because Jefferson does not come out of it very often throughout the course of the entire year.
It's Jefferson's largest lead of the contest. It's 10. Some work to do here for the Spartans. It starts here. Driving is Chapman. Looking for somewhere to go with it.
Nice closeout by Schatzel. She's such a force down there in the middle of that zone with that type of length.
Sweeney gives it to Chapman here. Chapman again working that left side. Gets inside position, but quickly doubled by Sparta, or by Jefferson, and Jefferson comes the other way.
And you got the freshman for Sparta, Brooke Schust, is in the game now as well to try to contend with Kylie Schatzel down low.
Christina Danell going to the bench, looking for some options, looking for someone to step up, make a play. And this is Riley Strouch just checked in for the Falcons as well.
Good movement once again by Jefferson.
Wellmeyer's shot off the mark, rebounded by Sweeney. Sparta looking to push, get transition points have been tough to come by for both sides thus far tonight. Tenacious defense by this Jefferson team. They forced a loose ball, bodies collide on the far side in front of the Jefferson bench.
That's another element of Poulos' game, is her defense. She can really get up in you and close out on passing lanes quickly.
So it'll be Cassidy Ball bringing it up here for the Falcons. This is Riley Strouch, back to Ball. Wellmeyer Sparta a bit of a 2-3 zone themselves. Good ball movement here. Cassidy Ball gets inside position, and she draws the contact, and she'll head to the line for a pair.
Cassidy Ball uses her body so well, and she's so controlled and uses that 2-foot jump stop to perfection. So she gets in there and just comes over the top for the foul.
Ball's off on the first. We'll have a substitution here for Spartans. Checking back in, Kaylee O'Brien.
Coach Donnell trying to find the right combination that's going to work on both ends of the floor. You know, with Abby Connors out playing such a crucial role for them, it's a little bit tricky when you have one of your key players and trying to find the right combo.
And Katie Sutton will head to the bench after taking that hard fall there on that prior possession, that loose ball, and a kick ball here on Cassidy Ball. Jefferson having much more success against the Sparta 2-3 zone than Sparta against Jefferson.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. I mean, neither team is certainly, well, 2-3 zone is not foreign at this point, but boy, they are suffocating both at the perimeter and then, oh, nice job by Molly Chapman. I was going to say on a defensive rebound, but when you knock down a three from the corner pocket, there is no defensive rebound. They needed that in the worst way.
Absolutely, and it's down to 7.
And it feels like Jefferson's up by 20, but as you just said, it's only a 7-point game.
It's been tough. This game hasn't gotten a nice rhythm yet.
Right.
On either side, no flow, as we're about 3 minutes gone by here in this second quarter.
Part of that is because of the 2-3 zone on both sides. Each team is having a little bit of an issue kind of trying to penetrate a little bit.
Loose ball underneath, ball gets it out. Gets out with it. 3 launched by Strouch, off the mark. Rebounded here by Molly Chapman. She's working on Monco, she's doubled, she gives it up, but it's back to Riley Strouch at Jefferson. And Strouch will give it up here to Ball. In the corner with it is Ball.
And Ball just plays at her own pace. She's almost like a Luka Doncic type where no one's going to speed her up. She's going to do exactly what she wants to do. She's going to get to her spot. She's not going to rush. And that's just a huge element of her game.
Not afraid of dribble drive penetration, works the low block, works the baseline, not afraid of contact. Is the senior point guard for the Falcons.
Speaking of seniors, you got senior Kayla Bach checking into the game, number 5 for Jefferson. Nice job by Schuss using that left hand, just couldn't get it to fall as Cassidy Ball pushes the tempo.
Rebounded by Wollmeyer. Ball gives it up to Poulos. Poulos gives it back to Ball. Ball immediately drives, attracts 2. 2 Sparta defenders, can't hit the long 3 as Poulos, rebounded by Sparta. Cassidy Ball just that big of a threat here for the Sparta defense. She immediately tracks 2 defenders and she's able to distribute and find the open player. Tough shot there by Schust. She was double teamed, couldn't get it to go. Rebounded here by the Falcons. And there's Ball again on the low block. Finds its way to Wollmeyer and she will head to the line for a pair. She draws contact.
And that was all about the team movement of the basketball. I mean, literally all 5 girls touched the ball in that possession in probably under 7 seconds, leading to Grace being on the free throw line.
So Grace will hit the first. Checking in here for Cassidy Ball is number 20, Emma Barone.
Coach McDermott certainly not afraid to go to his bench. Usually plays about those 8 players, rotating them in, see who's got the hot hand, looking at the matchups, constantly making adjustments.
Rebounded here by Sparta. Dobbs harassed by Monco. Dobbs is able to dribble out of it, gives it up. Sweeney with the left, off the window. Can't get it to go. Comes back out to Sparta and goes up and draws the contact, but a traveling call.
Yeah, really nice job by Poulos of absorbing that contact by staying straight up. If she had her arms down a little bit, or had her body at a bit of an angle, that certainly would have been an offensive or excuse me, a blocking call. But she did a great job of staying vertical.
And a loose ball here. What's the call? It's going to stay this way. So it'll be Jefferson ball right in front of us. Just under 2.5 to play here in this first half. 13-5. Jefferson leads.
Another senior for Jefferson, Bridget Hokenberg, hopping in the game now. Coach McDermott going 9 deep already in this second quarter.
Here's Barone, the sophomore. Poulos finds it, gets her hands on it, keeps the possession alive for the Falcons. 3 put up there, short by Hokenberg. Rebounded by Katie Sutton.
Nothing's been easy for Sparta offensively. They haven't really gotten any run-outs. Everything's been tough, grinded out possessions, Jordan.
Schuss couldn't get it to go. Here comes Emma Barone in transition. And we have a tie-up here, and indeed it will be, and the possession arrow keeps it here with the Falcons.
And now Jefferson's having a hard time scoring these last 3 or 4 minutes after being in full control of this game towards the end of that first quarter, beginning of the second. And now it feels like, again, they're grinding it out just as Sparta is.
It certainly feels like Jefferson has a more commanding lead than just the 8 that it is.
Yeah, then you look up, you're like, wait a second, we got ourselves a ball game. And that's got to be hopeful for Sparta because they probably feel the same way. Like, hey, so far we feel like we're getting outplayed. But we're only down 8, and that's probably going to be Coach Danel's message at the halftime is like, look, we're not playing great. You know, they hit some shots, but we're really in striking distance. But we got to take care of the basketball.
Bad turnover here. Wohlmeyer with the interception gives it up to Barone. Poulos gives it up, works it around, finds his way back cross-court pass to Barone. Barone guarded by Sweeney. We approach the 1-minute mark of the second quarter. Barone, Monco, Poulos. Intercepted right back to Jefferson, or back to Sparta, excuse me, it's Dobbs. Dobbs gives it up to Chapman. Chapman, off-balance shot, short. Rebounded by Hockenberg. Outlet pass to Poulos. Poulos is tied up, dribbling to the basket. Nice play there by Molly Chapman, forced the tie-up and give the possession back to the Sparta.
Yeah, I like the aggression of Poulos looking to attack the basket, but Molly just snuck her hands in there, got her hands on the basketball for a jump ball coming back the other way. I mean, this is a big possession here for Sparta, Jordan. I mean, if they can cut this down to 6 at the half, I mean, that's going to be a huge win for them.
This is playing out, I would imagine, like Sparta wants it, like Christina Danella wants it. I mean, muck it up, make it ugly.
Yeah.
You know, you do not want this Jefferson team to get into outlet, get into a rhythm. And it's only an 8-point game and another tie-up. Good defense here. Possession arrow will keep it here with the Falcons with 19.1.
And Poulos with some nice defense, second possession in a row that she's gotten a steal and looking to attack the basket. So her aggression level is at 10 today, which is what it should be.
Hockenberg gets it in to Poulos. This is Monco. Ball checked back in. Under 10 to play. Monco looking for somewhere to go with it.
They got time.
Hockenberg. It's Ball. Ball, 3 off the mark, rebounded by Schatzel, but the first half will come to a close. 13-5 at the end of 2 quarters of play. We'll take this time, we'll step aside, come back. Third quarter action coming up here live after halftime here from Sparta Township High School. And here we are back live at Sparta Township High School, start of the third quarter. Girls basketball game of the week. I'm Jordan Catelli, here with my partner Brian Thomas. 13-5 our scores. We get ready to start the third quarter. Brian, your thoughts on what we saw in the first half?
Well, I mean, it looked like Jefferson was really going to take control of that game towards the end of that first quarter into the second quarter. And then as it turns out, they only scored 1 point in the last 7 minutes and about 35 seconds of that second quarter, which allowed Sparta, even though they've gotten 5 points, they were able to hang around. So it feels like they had a shot. So we'll see if either coach made any big adjustments. I mean, these teams, at this point, most teams in the season kind of are what they are. So we'll see if there are any adjustments. We also want to make sure we thank that Lake House Cafe located in Andover Borough and Sparta. You can go there for breakfast and lunch. You could also call them or go to their website for delivery. And if you order at lh.cafe, you can receive a 10% off your order if you use the code BB02. So check them out, Lake House Cafe. They are excellent, both locations in both Andover and Sparta.
Pull up three here by Wilmeyer, off the mark. Rebounded by the Spartans. And she shoveled her feet.
It'll be big here.
Did O'Brien.
Sorry, Jordan, in the first couple minutes, if they can get this to 13-9, 15-11 type of game and really make Jefferson sweat, be like, wait a second, we've been feeling like we've been outplaying the most of this game and we're only up 2 or 4. So these first couple of minutes are going to be big for the Spartans. You
and I were talking during the half off camera. Jefferson only has 1 point since the 7-minute mark of the second quarter.
Crazy.
So it feels like a larger deficit, larger margin than it is, 8 points. But this is playing on just in the hands of Sparta. A couple baskets here or there, and it's only a 2-possession game.
No question.
Jefferson still looking for that flow offensively. It's been tough to come by against this 2-3 zone. Both teams playing stifling defense on both ends of the floor. Lots of jump balls, lots of turnovers. And there it is, another loose ball in the lane. Sparta coming away with it, but a foul called against the Spartans, and I think it's going to go against Sweeney.
And Jefferson thought they found a little bit of a flow in that first quarter leading into that second. Pulled hit a couple of threes, got to the basket. They were starting to feel that dam break offensively, and then all of a sudden Sparta put the clamps down, and all of a sudden we got a ball game.
Cassidy Ball gives it to Monco. Another deflected pass. This one comes away with Sparta. Pushing it is Sweeney. Sweeney has it ripped away momentarily, but she's able to corral it. Feeds Dobbs. And a foul underneath. Which way is it going to go?
A great job by Katie Sutton diving into the stands to save that ball. And then Malaya Dobbs looking to attack the basket on the line for 2. Really haven't had any foul trouble so far tonight, which is great for both teams.
Dobbs hits the first. She hits them both. 13-7 our score. As Cassidy Ball bring it up here for the Falcons. Sparta chipping away, hanging around. Jefferson unable to extend the lead, put their foot on the gas. Jump stop in the lane by Ball. She takes the bump, and it'll be Falcon ball to inbound underneath. Nice feed down inside. Wilmeyer with the easy 2.
Well-designed play and then well executed by the players. It's one of their first easy buckets they've had in about 30 minutes, it seems.
Yeah. Sparta looked to answer. Back down by 8. Deflected, staying here, out of bounds. Nice defense there by the Falcons. That's Monco with the deflection. As Sweeney gets it inbounds for the Spartans. Chapman loses her dribble and bailed out by a whistle and a foul. So it'll be a side out. And second team foul against the Falcons with 5.5 to play. Brooke Schuss checking back in for the Spartans.
She did a good job in that second quarter. Got a couple rebounds, had a couple drop steps, didn't finish them, but she was getting good shots for the Spartans.
Corner three here by Sparta. Around the rim and out. Last touch off Molly Chapman, and it'll go to Jefferson.
Molly disagreeing in an animated fashion. Unfortunately for her, the call did not go her way on that one.
Ball, dribble, drive. Nice jump step there by Ball. Drives baseline, nice feed. Short is Schatzel. Ball, Cassidy Ball gets the loose ball. Straightaway three. Poulos off the mark. Rebounded by Sparta. And a jump ball, and it'll go to Sparta.
Cassidy Ball all over the place. Not only driving and dishing twice on that possession, but then getting an offensive rebound and then forcing a jump ball. So she's having an outstanding third quarter already.
The jump ball has been the popular call
Yes.
here this
Yeah, you're not kidding.
this game tonight.
You're not kidding.
Sutton gives it back out. Three by Dobbs, off the mark. Last touch, staying here. Last touch off Jefferson, and I might have been Woolmiller, pardon me. 4:37 to play. And a 5-second call. She's in trouble getting it in, and it'll go back to Jefferson.
Excellent job by Jefferson. So in that zone, as you can see, we talked about this earlier, it's more of a matchup zone. So especially when the ball is out of bounds underneath their own basket, they're looking to deny that ball in. And such a great job there forcing that 5-second call.
Will Miller looking to dribble out of it. She finds it. Poulos.
Great movement.
Yeah, great ball movement. Short on the jumper. And that seems like to be it. Better ball movement in the second period, Brian, but just the finish hasn't been there. Cross-court pass here by Sparta. And another foul committed against Jefferson. It'll be Sparta inbound underneath. 13th foul against the Falcons. And we'll have a substitution here. Riley Strouch checking back in for the Falcons.
That was a great skid pass by Dobbs on that previous play. Molly just attacking the basket, going right by, and able to draw that foul.
More trouble getting it in. She does. And another foul.
We just talked about foul trouble's not been much of an issue, and now in the last 2 or 3 minutes, there's been about 4 or 5 foul calls. So now they're going to start to pile up a little bit for both teams.
Team's fourth. Sparta gets it in. Chapman, three, got it to go.
Excellent shot by Molly Chapman. And now, well, just down to 6.
They're going to call that a 2, pardon me. They're going to make it 15-9.
Yeah, I think the one official called it a 3, but then the official on the baseline saw the foot on the line.
Okay.
So just a 2.
So it's a 6-point lead regardless. And the closest Sparta's been in some time since the early stages of the first quarter.
We're actually going to talk about this here. So the official, because the one official right in front of us did call a 3. The question is, did the other official override that? I know Coach Tonello was saying, hey, you had the 3 up. So is it a 3 or is it a 2?
More confusion going on.
But it's good, though. I mean, when you have the officials, they're going to talk it out, figure out what each one saw, make sure that they're all on the same page.
No replay here in high school. Can't go to the monitor and check.
Right.
The officials at the scorer's table asking confirmation, get everyone on the same page. It's showing 15-9, which would indicate the last shot was a 2.
Correct.
James McDermott has questions. The gentleman speaking to James McDermott, he has a 3. The female official with the ball in her possession, she had it down as a 2 live on the floor. It's showing 15-9, which would indicate it's 2.
Yep, correct. If it was a 3, it would be 10. So they're going to figure it out. It looks. So they're talking to the people at the score table now. So I mean, it looks like the refs at least have made a decision and know what they want. They're just relaying it to
Get the book's
scoreboard.
official. Yeah. The home book is the official book in this situation.
Now the other tricky part about this, I think the scoreboard might be off a little bit. I may be wrong, but we suddenly have 5 team fouls on the Jefferson Falcons, which would lead to, if you haven't listened at all this year, the new rule is once you get to 5 team fouls, at every quarter it's going to be an automatic 2-shot foul. So the 1-and-1 is now gone. So they just had 3 or 4 fouls, and I'm not sure they have 5-team fouls yet.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, because if they were, we would see Sparta actually on the free throw line. But there wasn't a foul committed on that previous possession, so I don't think it matters anyway. So I think they might be talking about that as well. That would be my guess. I think it might be a twofold conversation going on here between the officials and the scorers table.
James McDermott looking on perplexed, hands crossed, talking to his assistant.
Well, and also because, and again, I think it might be something with the scoreboard because underneath
coaches,
the Spartans, it says, the red B, so it basically means double bonus. Yeah, which again no longer exists because the double bonus used to be, so the first bonus was 17 fouls, and then the double bonus, which was a 1-and-1, the double bonus was 10 team fouls, which was an automatic 2. So that actually is something that doesn't, in New Jersey, it no longer exists in the game of basketball. So it's always just the 5-team fouls, and then you're automatically shooting 2. So I think we got a few. So they're going to fix the team fouls, if you see in the scoreboard here. So they're going back to Jefferson with 4 team fouls, which is the correct call. So that's the first issue that they have now fixed. Because okay, so here's what happened. It was 5-2 on the scoreboard, the fouls. Jefferson had 5, Sparta had 2. The scoreboard gave the foul to the wrong team.
Right. So
they just corrected it, and now it's what it should be.
4 team fouls to Jefferson and 3 for Sparta.
Correct.
Showing. Scoreboard still reading 15-9 as it currently stands.
Yeah, so as we mentioned, this is a twofold issue here. It was getting the fouls straight on the scoreboard, and then there they go.
And
they
now
just
they've
put it
added
to
the
10.
point.
So they are going to count that as a 3. And then we're all set here. So to reset, 15-10 Jefferson, 4 team fouls for Jefferson, 3 team fouls for Sparta.
Correct.
And away we go.
With 3:47 remaining on the clock here in the third quarter. James McDermott might not be happy with the explanation he's received. He seems to give the short end of the stick, and Sparta gets the extra point. And we'll have a Jefferson possession inbound underneath with Cassidy Ball to take the inbound for the Falcons.
That felt like a Super Bowl halftime right there.
And we're back underway after the delay, the brief delay. We're back in Jefferson looking to add to their 5-point lead. This is Riley Strouch. Monco now feeds it to Ball. Poulos off the back iron. Ball with the rebound. Ball looking for somewhere to go with it. She finds Poulos. She's off the mark. Rebounded by Monco. Keeps the possession alive for the Falcons. Poulos in the corner. Able to dig it out. And miscommunications going back to the Falcons. Strouch and Poulos on different wavelengths.
Well, momentum has certainly changed now. Now you feel like with this 5-point game, only 3 minutes left in the third quarter, Sparta gets a bucket here. You may see a timeout from Coach McDermott.
Only 2 points scored by the Falcons in this third quarter, and around and down it goes for the Spartans. They've cut it to 3. The closest it's been since this first quarter. It's down to a 1-possession game. Credit the Sparta defense, just slowing it down, Brian, mucking it up.
100%.
Digging in.
And what they're doing much better in this third quarter is only allowing 1 shot on most possessions. Or in that first quarter, Jefferson had 3 or 4 offensive rebounds.
Strouch for 3, she's off. Rebounded by Chapman. Chapman looking to break.
Shooting touch has gone cold for the Falcons.
Chapman working left side. Gets baseline position. Gives it up to Dobbs. Swings it back out to Chapman. 3 from the corner, no good. Put back, no. Underneath, we have a whistle, a tie-up, and it's going to Jefferson.
Nice possession by the Spartans, though. Moving the basketball. They got a couple of good shots. They're feeling good about themselves right now.
You could feel it, momentum turning. Yeah. You can see the confidence building in the girls on the floor.
For sure.
Believing, down to 1 possession. Anything can happen, and the Falcons, they have gone ice cold on this end of the floor.
I mean, it almost feels like Jordan, certainly the first to 30 is going to win.
Oh, yeah, 15 to 12, 25 maybe even, the way things are going.
Exactly.
And going up there strong was Schatzel. Her pass was deflected. Paul can't get it to go. Loose ball, last touch off Jefferson. It'll go to Sparta.
Both teams fighting hard after loose balls and rebounds. Gotta love the passion, the effort, and the energy.
A scrappy game.
Yeah.
Sparta will bring it up. This is Shust. Working around the Chapman. Chapman picks up her dribble on the baseline, looking for somewhere to go with it. Shust off the window and in.
What a great spin move, and using that left hand high off the glass as it drops in.
15-14, Jefferson leads. Cassidy ball. Ball drives left side, and a whistle and a foul. They're going to get a reach in here, and I believe they're going to get Katie Sutton.
Let's see if Jefferson can get an easy basket again like they did a few possessions before with the baseline out of bounds.
That was their last field goal of the contest, and their only field goal here in the second half.
And their first field goal since about 7:35 of the second quarter.
Because their other point was on a free throw.
So we're talking one field goal in about 14 minutes of play.
And another turnover, and Jefferson, they're really
they're
not on the same wavelength.
They're out of sorts at the moment.
And if you're James McDermott, if he could just get to the fourth quarter with a lead, it is essential. Big possession here for both teams. Chapman might have got away with an extra step or two. Play on, no whistle. Cassidy ball short with the layup, and a foul underneath on the loose ball. And we'll see who they get here for Sparta. It'll be the 5th team foul regardless.
Good job by Cassidy ball of attacking the basket. Layup came up a little bit short. Kylie Schatzel sneaking in there for an offensive rebound, getting to the free throw line with 7.6 left in the third quarter.
Schatzel hits the first. That last foul charged to Sutton, her third.
And the 5th team foul for the Spartans, but doesn't really matter at this point considering there's so little time left.
Schatzel short on the second, rebounded by Sparta. It's down to 3, down to 2. Pull up pop, Sweeney got it. And we're tied at 16 at the end of 3, a huge basket, and Sparta has clawed their way back to be even with Jefferson. We'll step aside, come back. It's going to be an exciting fourth quarter here at Sparta Township High School. We'll be back right after this. Back here at Sparta Township High School, start of the fourth quarter girls basketball game of the week here on BT Broadcasting. I'm Jordan Catelli here with Brian Thomas of Brian Thomas Basketball. Brian, you got some sponsors we'd like to thank for getting this game on the air tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Today's game is sponsored by the Lake House Cafe, located in both Andover Borough and Sparta. You can head over there for breakfast or for lunch, and if you want delivery, you can order from lh.cafe And if you type in the code BB02, you can receive a 10% discount. Check them out. They are excellent. They are outstanding. You check out Juliana and Kira. They'll take care of you. And again, that 10% off BB02 over at the Lake House Cafe in both Andover and Sparta. Check them out.
Well, thanks to the folks at the Lake House Cafe. As we get ready, as we're underway here in the fourth quarter, 16 apiece, and Brian Sparta has scratched and clawed and played an ugly game, kept it ugly, to tie it here at 16 apiece here in this final fourth quarter and give themselves a chance.
Yes, you got to give them a ton of credit for buckling down on defense, and they finally found a way to hit some baskets. And what's really astounding on the Jefferson side, we're at 7:35 right now in the fourth quarter, and they've only scored one basket from the 7:35 mark of the second quarter. So almost 2 full quarters worth, and they've only got one basket, and they've added a couple free throws. So you got to imagine they really got to try to pry the lid off of this basket if they're going to find a way to win this basketball game.
It'll be Sparta inbound underneath. Going to work down low. Can't get it to go is Shust. Rebounded by Poulos. This is ball pushing in transition. Try to feed it down inside. Nice Sparta defense again. This is number 23 with it, Sweeney. Sweeney gives it over to Chapman. Molly Chapman, she's had a nice second half here. And they got her with extending the arm. And
I'm not sure anyone in the gym saw that one, Jordan.
Right in front of Christina Danella, she certainly did not.
Yeah.
Agree with the call.
Officials are doing the best they can. I mean, it's harder now than ever to be an official, man. There's no doubt about that.
The game is faster at all. Yeah.
Yeah, without question. I mean, I talked about getting to 30, George. You said 25. I don't know. Maybe 20 is the number. Could you imagine?
I don't think either any of us had that. You're talking to a couple fans, a couple scoreline predictions early in the game. Nobody. We were off by about 20 points on the total.
Yeah.
And another giveaway here by the Spartans. As Shust was trying to feed one of her teammates, Sutton, but they weren't on the same page, and it's going back here to the Falcons.
So now you can feel each team is a little bit tense with the tie game with about 6 minutes left to go. Which team is going to take care of the basketball? Which team is going to get great shots down the stretch?
Well, you figure if you told Sparta and the girls that, you'd be tied with Jefferson heading into the fourth quarter, I'm sure they would have ripped broke their arm off the shoulder to have that result, yeah. Substitution here by the Falcons. And it comes in here to Cassidy Ball. And unable to handle it is Schatzel, and it's going to go back to Sparta.
Yeah, it's been a sloppy start of this fourth quarter for both teams. A lot of turnovers. So again, which team is going to take care of the basketball? Which team is going to get excellent shots?
Under 6 to play. Pass deflected, finds his way back into Shust. Shust can't get it to go. Rebounded by Poulos. Poulos goes coast to coast. Her layup is short. Sparta coming in transition. Outlet to Sutton. Sutton gives it back to Sweeney. This is Chapman now working with it. And they're going to get Poulos with a little push from in the back. Business starting to pick up here in Sparta.
Yeah, you could feel the tension in the air on both sides. I mean, both on the Jefferson side and the Sparta side.
We're smack dab in the middle of it.
Yes,
we get it on both sides, yeah. It's Chapman. And that goes off the thigh of Cassidy Ball to stay with the Spartans.
But if you notice, Jordan, and we talked about this earlier as well, is that neither team has deviated from what they do. They've both been in their half-court zones the entire game. There's been no man-to-man. There's been no full-court press, because that's the identity of each team. So they're like, look, you just got to find a way to beat us.
Bad inbounds pass there by Sweeney. Ball gets her hands on it, and she goes up. Shot put up, no good. Put back. Are they going to count it? Yeah, they are.
They are going to count that, a little bit of NBA style right there. Sparta fans think it should have been on the floor. Jefferson fans are thrilled that it's going to be a possible three-point play.
Grace Weimiller at the line to try to make it a three-point play.
But that play was dictated by Cassidy Ball being patient in the paint, not drawing an offensive charge on herself and allowing for at least an offensive rebound to be a possibility.
Off on the free throw, rebounded by Chapman.
Molly ripping that ball down.
Chapman tries to go up in the lane, lost it on the way up. Loose ball underneath. Possession arrow is with the Falcons.
You don't usually say this, Jordan, but a two-point lead, I mean, it kind of feels like 6.
Yeah. Kaylee O'Brien will check in for Katie Sutton here. The 4:47 mark of this fourth quarter, 18-16 Falcons lead. Offense has been at a premium tonight.
Boy, that's stating it lightly.
Yeah. Pass deflected in there by the Spartans, but right into the hands of Schatzel, and she gets it to go off the glass. And Jefferson's up 4.
Right place, right time for Schatzel, but good job of turning and attacking and finishing a desperately needed bucket. Any type of cushion that they can get right now, they're going to feel great about. There's no doubt about that.
And a timeout called by the Spartans.
And exactly what we were just talking about. Coach Donnell is thinking the same thing. Like, hey, you know what? Down 4, you know, with this game, it feels like 6, 8, maybe 10-point deficit. So we got to make sure we're getting an excellent shot here. We can't be silly. We can't turn the basketball over. Folks, make sure you're checking out BrianThomasBasketball.com as well. We just had our first round of spring team tryouts this past Sunday right here in Sparta High School. But we do have another one. If you happen to miss the tryouts, if you didn't know about the tryouts, there'll be another one coming up this coming Sunday, again right here at Sparta High School. You can check all of that information out at BrianThomasBasketball.com. We are also on Instagram and on Facebook. And it's 3rd grade all the way up through high school kids. So get your off-season work ready to roll, BrianThomasBasketball.com.
So we're back here at Sparta coming out of the timeout. The Sparta ball down by 4. What are you drawing up in the huddle if you're Christina Danella?
Well, it's not necessarily what you're drawing up per se. It's talking about making sure we get a shot that we want. Look, there's tons of time left. We're not in a rush, but you know, which the way this game is going, you don't want to go down. You don't want to miss a shot here and then give up one. And next thing you know, you're down 6 with 3.5 to go, which feels in this particular game like a much larger deficit. So I think the message is, hey, you know, let's make sure we get the shot that we want, and then we have to lock down and defend no matter what happens on this particular possession.
Sweeney to inbound, gets it into Dobbs. Dobbs picked up at half court by Montco. Dobbs, nice feed down inside off the pick and roll. It's Shust.
And an excellent job of Sparta executing what they wanted to get.
Under 4 to play here in this fourth quarter, 20-18, Jefferson leads. Montco guarded closely there by Sweeney. It's back in the hands of Cassidy Ball. Ball drives left side, contact and a foul, and she'll head to the line for a pair.
Ball once again doing a great job looking to attack the basket, but being patient as to not draw an offensive charge, and back to the free throw line.
13 foul against the Spartans.
I think the delay there, they were just, the officials were, I believe, making sure Coach McDermott was in the coaching box.
Everybody back where they're supposed to be.
Right.
And Ball hits them both. 2 massive free throws for the Falcons.
Everything feels massive right now, doesn't it?
Yeah. Points are at a premium. It's a 4-point lead. Feels like could be, 8 to 10. The way these offenses have been playing this evening.
You got to give a ton of credit to these defensive. They have really gotten their hands in the passing lanes
disrupting passes.
Yeah, especially in this fourth quarter, not giving up a lot of good shots for the opposing team.
Molly Chapman doubled down in the corner. She's looking for somewhere to go. And an offensive foul, another one.
Nice job of Jefferson of closing in on Chapman towards the baseline and towards the sideline, effectively adding another defender or two.
Fourth team foul against Sparta as we approach the 3-minute mark of this fourth quarter.
Which could turn out to be big because one more and then Jefferson's on the line for 2 after every foul.
And they've made the last 3 of their last 4 free throws at the line. Have the Falcons. Feed it down inside. Schatzel gets post position. Can't get it to go. Put back. Way Miller. And last touch off the Falcons. And it's going back up to Sparta with 2:48 to play.
I mean, when it was 12-2, with about 7.5 left to go in the second quarter, we certainly couldn't have anticipated it's going to be a 22-18 game with 2:37 left.
Sweeney, or pardon me, Chapman rather. Chapman can't get it to go. We have a tie-up loose ball. Possession arrow with Sparta. And a timeout called by the Spartans bench. Another big possession here, 2:32 to play. Sparta will have it to inbound underneath the Jefferson basket.
You know what though? These are the games you want as a coach. I mean, yeah, these might be the games that age you a little bit, but you take these games this time of year over a 30-point blowout because especially with both of these teams on Saturday coming up and playing in the semifinals of their county tournaments and both playing against really good teams, you want to be playing in close games this time of year so you have experience with that. Who knows? You get a close game on Saturday and you're not as nervous. You're making better decisions. And then you got states coming up. So I think coaches will take these types of games where it's tight, whether the score is 52-48 or 22-18. Tight games this time of year are important. So especially with your younger players, you can learn. You could, make some mistakes and then learn from them down the line. So that's what we found ourselves in, 22-18.
Sparta was in a close one on Saturday against at 100 Central. 33-25, that one finished. Not exactly lighting up the scoreboard in that one.
Right.
Although compared to tonight's standards, yes.
Right.
So Sparta ball to inbound underneath.
Wins are wins this time of year.
Absolutely, and Sparta finds that both teams making deep runs in their respective county tournaments.
So let's see what Coach Danella drew up here in the timeout, trying to get a quick and easy one. Look for just coming right back. There it is.
Nice find underneath, and she draws the double and the foul, and she'll head to the line for 2. Is Shust.
And once again, a great job of executing by the Sparta girls.
Second team found the Falcons. That foul charge to number 15, Kylie Schatzel, her second. She's money on the first. Can't get the second. Rebounded by the Falcons. This is Poulos bringing it up. She gives it up to the senior ball. Jefferson leads 22-19, 2:15 to play, fourth quarter. Big possession for both teams here. Can Jefferson extend it to a 2-score game? Poulos gives to Monco, back to Poulos. They get it back into the hands of their senior point guard with under 2 to play. Poulos guarded closely, and Sparta forces the turnover.
Called the travel. They said that the official said that Poulos shuffled her feet a little bit. Coach McDermott not thrilled because he stood up to try to call a timeout, but it looks like the official saw the turnover first, a split second before they saw the timeout call.
It's in the hands of Dobbs here for Sparta. Sparta can tie it or cut it to 1 with the basket here on this trip. Turnover taken away right out of her hands by Monco. Outlet pass to Poulos. Poulos off the window and in for 2.
Great job by Maddie of defending that ball, not causing a tie-up for once, and is ripping it out and then passing it ahead as quickly as possible. Poulos for the layup.
Sutton tries to feed it to Shust, and a loose ball, and another foul called.
Mankel trying to make another play, but just got too much of the body on that one.
And this one's going to go against the Falcons. It'll be Sparta to inbound underneath. Third team foul against Sparta. Third on Monco. So it'll be Sparta to inbound underneath. Sweeney gets it in. Just short. And it's going to stay with Sparta.
Yeah, that's the right call. Jefferson fans not happy about it, but Schatzel definitely got a hand on that basketball, so it's going to stay here with Sparta.
With 1:18 to play, Jefferson leads by 5. Chapman, tough contested shot, can't get it to go. Finds its way into hands one of her teammates. Loose ball underneath, jump ball to Jefferson with the possession arrow.
Got to give the girls a lot of credit on both teams. You could tell that they're diving on the floor. They're getting after loose balls. The passion is high to win this basketball game with 1:09 left. Sparta steps up their pressure just a little bit as they have to, being down 5.
Ball within her hands. We approach the 1-minute mark of this fourth quarter. Jefferson up by 5. Sparta will need a turnover in the most desperate sense, and we have a whistle and a foul. And that's the 5th team foul on Sparta, and it'll send them to the line for 2.
Yeah, so now the rest of the game here for Jefferson, they will be on the line for 2 fouls no matter what, whether it's a shooting foul, whether it's a foul on the floor, it's all going to be a 2-shot foul.
So Monco hits on the first.
And now it becomes a bit of a free throw shooting contest because you feel like if Jefferson's going to make their free throws, they could walk out of here as a winner. But lots of time left.
They lead by 7, 26-19. This is Chapman. Some contact, forces an awkward shot, draws nothing but air, rebounded by the senior Cassidy Ball. Ball, nice dribbling, gets position, and gets it to go off the glass. And that might be the final nail in the coffin as Jefferson extends it to 9, excuse me, with 32 seconds to play. And a whistle and a timeout by Sparta.
Jordan, you knew at some point with such a low-scoring game there was going to be a team that was going to make some sort of run and have a quick little offensive burst, and it happened to be the Jefferson Falcons to take that 6-point lead all the way up. I'm sorry, with the 3-point lead at 22-19, all the way up to 9, and now it feels like it might be a little bit out of reach. But you got to give both team credits. I mean, this fourth quarter was pretty crazy how close it got and how tense it was. And every possession seemed like it was, you know, a last second shot with the girls diving on the floor and getting after loose balls. So this has been quite an entertaining fourth quarter.
Jefferson, though, able to hit their free throws down the stretch. They've struggled offensively, points being at a premium. And we mentioned that dry spell dating back into the second quarter.
Right.
That drought for Jefferson offensively, just the one free throw and then the one field goal in the third quarter. They have found the gas just enough here in this fourth quarter, and the free throws a huge part of it for them to build this 9-point lead with 32.8 remaining here in the fourth.
And sometimes part of it is, you know what, you're suddenly just hitting shots because they missed a lot of layups in that third and early fourth quarter, and you know they've gotten the last few of them to go.
They get it in here to Dobbs. Sparta's going to need to go quickly. Dobbs, pass deflected, finds its way over to Sweeney. Sweeney gives it to Shust. Shust working down low. Pass deflected and finds its way into the hands of Monco. And she's fouled with 15.4 remaining.
Hey, we said first to 30, so it may end up being the right call after all.
If Madison Monco can hit these two, Brian, you hit the 30 on the nose.
There we go.
With 15.4 to play.
I mean, look, I certainly didn't hit 30 when the game started. You know, this was this was after the game was, you know, 12-10 for a long time.
She's short. So Monco will get one more.
Molly Chapman with her 5th foul, so she is now out of the game. She played her heart out as always.
So Monco misses them both, but there with the putback is Schatzel with the rebound, pardon me. And she draws the foul. She'll head to the line for 2 more.
And especially with Molly out of the game at this point, you know, obviously harder for them. She's such a force for them on both the offensive glass and the defensive glass.
Hitting there is Schatzel to extend the lead to 10. She gets it. And Jefferson with the 30-19 advantage. And Sparta will push it here, look to add to their tally before the night's out. Final 5 seconds here for the Spartans. Unable to go with the right hand is Brooke Schuss, and that'll do it. Sparta falls short. Jefferson Falcons with a gutty win, 30-19 on the road. The Jefferson Falcons extend their 5-game winning streak to 6. They improved to 17-3 on the season. Their next game will be tomorrow as they face North Warren, and they'll play Chatham, the number 2 seed in the county semifinal tournament on Friday. As for the Sparta Spartans, they'll fall to 7-13 on the season, and their 4-game winning streak comes to an end. Their next game will be Wednesday as they take on the Newton Lady Braves. So our final score here from Sparta Township High School, the Jefferson Falcons go on the road and get the victory, 30-19. We'll step aside, we'll come back. Brian Thomas will have post-game reaction with the Jefferson Lady Falcons coming up right after this.
Okay, we are back here at Sparta High School after a interesting game, to say the least, with a very incredibly low-scoring game here with Cassidy Ball and Emily Poulos. Emily, we'll start off with you. That game where you guys were up 12-2 early in that second quarter, and then you guys only had one field goal for about 2 straight quarters of play. Tell us what the mentality was going into that fourth quarter to try to rip the lid off of that basket to try to generate some points for you guys.
We knew our defense would keep us in it the whole time. We play good defense, then we'll convert that to offense, so that was really the mindset.
Awesome. Cassidy, come on over here. So you did an excellent job today of getting to the basket, getting in the lane, but I gave you a little comparison on the air to Luka Doncic in the sense that you're very controlled with your pace. No one's ever going to rush you. No one's ever going to hurry you. The 2-foot jump stop is excellent with your patience. So talk a little bit about how you're able to get into the lane and finish, but also find for your teammates effectively.
I don't know. I feel like if you get in the lane, you draw the defense, you give 3-point shooters a chance to get their shot off wide open. I don't know.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, girls. I know, I get it. You did great. That's a big win for you guys. Congratulations. Coach, that was, wins are wins at this point in the year, right? You guys had a huge one against Madison the other day. Then you come in here against a gritty, tough Sparta girls team that have won 4 games in a row. They're not going to quit. They're going to continue to fight. What did you see in your girls today, despite the offensive struggles that you can build on going into the last part of this season?
Yeah, I just think that that resiliency we've been striving for, keeping our focus and our execution on the defensive end, even when things aren't going great offensively. Yeah. I think our focus was great. I don't think we let the offensive part of our game affect our defense. And our kids were really, they really pushed through a really rough offensive stretch there. But it was a tough spot to come in. We had our county tournament game on Saturday. We weren't able to prepare for Sparta's zone. We just kind of were going on the fly, and that's when you need to rely on seniors like Emily and Cassidy and Grace Weimiller to really kind of right the ship.
Awesome. So how do you guys feel? So you got, again, a big tournament or a quarterfinal win the other day. You got the semis coming up this coming Saturday, positioning yourself for states. At this point, early February, biggest part of the season, how do you feel about your team overall?
I think we're trending in the right direction. Our mantra the last 2 years is just be great by President's Day. And I think we're starting to play our best basketball. I think we're really locked in on the defensive end. Our rebounding's gotten a lot better. Emily's playing great basketball. Cass is a great two-way player right now. We're getting good contributions from our starting 5 and the kids that come in off the bench. Now we feel pretty good. If we win tomorrow, I believe we clinched the number 1 seed overall for our section. So that would be a huge bonus for us in our section to have to make those Bergen County teams come up to us. We know we have a great home court advantage when our student body gets behind us, and no place like it to play. So we're looking forward to hopefully sealing that up and continuing to trend in the upward direction here.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate
well
it.
done. All right, that's it for BT Broadcasting. We've got another game tomorrow night, Tuesday night, Jefferson boys up at the Vernon Viking boys, which should be an excellent game. Make sure you tune in, and we'll see you then.